I don't know why you're laughing.
I'm laughing at you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the Friday. We're here again. It's like we won't go away. Every Friday, we just show up, even
Okay.
though sometimes a minute or two late.
People don't even know. It's about
They
one
don't care.
o'clock most of the time.
That's right. That's our scheduled time. That's a great thing about today's world is you can be your own online broadcaster and make up whatever
That's
rules you
right.
want to.
That's right. How you
Anyway,
roll?
so here we are. Great to see you,
Good to see you
Morgan.
too. I'm putting this. You take it here. Hi. You
Poor
take it
people.
away. Talk about absorption numbers. I'm gonna see if because I'm gonna try to get it so that it'll show up on your page right now while it's live.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
Morgan and I,
take it away.
the internet stuff's not always as easy as you wish it would be. And you want to pull up my screen here for my numbers?
Yes.
Can you do that? Can you share that?
You have to click on your computer, share screen.
Here we go.
This is gonna happen again.
It's happening again.
I don't know who's watching right now, but somebody is. There's one person, and I'm really sorry.
There we go. All right.
Okay,
So here's my screen.
there you go.
And one of the things we always talk about each week are absorption rates and what's going on in the market. The higher the absorption rate, the more it turns into a seller's market. The lower the absorption rate, the better it is for a buyer. So here what we're looking at is basically the absorption rates in a chart format over the last 30 days, or the most current 30 days. And actually that's a little misleading because I titled it that, and now I've got quite a bit more than 30 days in here. But this is actually, I'm sorry, the bars are based on the most recent 30 days, but each bar is 1 week. And you can see, this is the Hoboken chart right here. You can see that as we were going into COVID, things really slowed down, and then they've been picking back up. I was a little worried. We had anticipated a pretty solid, constant upward trend. And then last week we saw this slight pullback, so I wasn't sure what was happening there, but this week's numbers actually showed that that's just a bit of an anomaly. And we are still trending up in Hoboken. Same thing in Jersey City. So it's not exactly a reversal like the stock market is, but it does mean that prices are getting a little bit better for sellers, and that buyers are a little more motivated, that our absorption rate's getting a little bit closer to normal. I know from talking to a number of broker friends, they still feel like Hoboken, Jersey City, Weehawken, and West New York are pretty slow. And I think historically speaking, it is pretty slow. But based on the current market, things are actually getting better and trending the right way. So that's a good sign. I think, as said before, everybody west of us, if you're out in the suburbs and you have a yard, a driveway, a backyard, a deck, a barbecue grill, you're golden. And that's where everybody's heading. But I think just in the last, I don't know if you'd agree with me or not, Morgan, but in the last couple of weeks, it seems like we're seeing more showings and more stuff going on here from people that were in the suburbs or were looking, but now it's gotten heated up enough that they're like, I don't know if that's as good a deal as.
I don't know if it's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so now they're starting to. It's like this big wave rolled right through here and went to the suburbs, but now it's kind of settling back along the Hudson River coast.
There's definitely a blend of both things happening at the same time, because some people are just getting priced out of the suburbs, ironically, and going back a little bit more urban. It's not that you get more square footage for the price in an urban environment compared to suburban. It's just that in order for suburban to be worth it, you have to have such a massive increase in space for price, and that increase is lower than it used to be. So
right, and it's a different lifestyle choice. I mean, if you like to walk out your door and be able to have some really great shops and restaurants and gym or yoga or jiu-jitsu, doesn't matter. If you want to have that stuff within walking distance of your place, you kind of want to be closer to the waterfront.
Right.
If you don't mind driving, then the suburbs are great. So it depends on what you want.
It's all about those priorities.
All about it. So we can, I think we've seen enough of this. I don't know. Can you unshare it? I don't know where we're at.
I already did. I got all the power. You don't have to touch it now. I can add it to this. I can add it. I can remove it. It's amazing.
I've got all the power. Okay.
I've got all the power.
That's so true in my life. The women in my life have all the power.
You know what's, I'm still learning this. Poor anybody who's watching, I'm so sorry. I'm still learning how to adjust our faces because I want to make yours big and mine small sometimes. Haven't figured it out yet. Okay, so I've done research as well this week. And first, in real estate exclusively, in particular, fun facts, wealthy investors are exhibiting an appetite for real estate. The main reason I say that is because, almost 50% of 121 family offices surveyed in the UBS 2020 Global Family Office Report, which basically means...
you love reading that stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. The UBS family offices, so not just singular families, but like all of the advisors in that office who are talking to who knows how many families. 50% of those offices are looking to increase their allocation to property because historically, real estate has been viewed as a non-correlating investment to the stock market. So whether it goes up or down, that doesn't impact real estate directly. So it's a really good hedge.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word? Because it's not opposite. There's just no correlation at all. So maybe they trend upward together, maybe they trend downward together, maybe one's going, they're just not related in general.
It's a diversification of the company assets.
Yes, exactly. See, this is why this is great. Also, the wealthiest family offices from that report allocate around 14% of their portfolios to real estate already. So that number is going to increase.
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
I understand and have heard, in our conversations with people,
Yeah.
that bulk buyers are active. And not long ago, there were bulk buyers in condo units,
Yes.
trying to, they see developments that are struggling to get their units sold. They go in and say, you give us
Yes.
a really steep discount, we'll purchase 10, 20, 50, 100 of your condo units from you at once, and then they'll resell them. Do you see that happening? Do you see it happening commercially also? I mean, we don't do much in commercial real estate, but still.
No, actually, I can actually speak to this. I really thought I wasn't going to be able to answer your question, but commercial real estate is essentially a dismal place to be right now. No one wants to invest in it. In the short run, you're not going to see a lot of return on investment. You see drastic price decreases in commercial real estate because there's no need. And companies forecasting their future are generally from the few comments that leaders like Jamie Dimon or whoever leads BlackRock are talking about. It's our production's still great even though everyone's at home. Why are we paying the overhead for an office? What if we stagger our employee presence and do more work from home? So the virtual thing is likely to be more long lasting. So the prediction in commercial real estate is that there's too much of it and we're probably not going to be using it. The biggest purchasers or renters in that space aren't going to be investing there.
Right.
So
yeah, the contrarian investor in me makes me think that I could see some vulture funds out there.
There are vulture funds out there.
Trying to pick up some of that.
Trying to pick that up, but
I think we talked about that a week or two ago, didn't we?
We did, yes. I was 50% of mind, but I do remember. I do remember.
That happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving right along.
We
digress.
Fun. So this is interesting to me too. It's not directly real estate related, so I'll just say it quickly. But according to Credit Suisse, the global wealth could rise to over 450 trillion by 2024, which is a ways. And there are 47 million millionaires worldwide that own 44% of the world's wealth, which is not the peak actually. The peak was in 2016 for how much the largest percentage that millionaires owned in the world. So I don't really know what that means for us regular people, but it's
But thanks for
interesting.
sharing it.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting, you know.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so real estate related again. Mortgages, past due payments are at a record high, higher than 2008, which is
That's
surprising
weird.
to me. Yeah, I think it's
But
because
defaults are lower, aren't they?
yes, it's just past due
Hmm.
payments. So less than 30 days past due.
Of
They're
course, we
at three.
encouraged that people could be past due if they wanted to, and
Right, I think because we've given so much flexibility that's why there's an incentive
hmm
to prioritize other payments above your
hmm
mortgage, which is not usual. So right now we're at a 3.4% of all mortgages being past due, which I mean sounds low, but in 2008 it was 2%. So that's interesting. Also, mortgage rates. I know every week we say that it's once again it's a new record low. It's a
hmm
new low for this year. That's true this week too. It's dipping again. It's just on a downward trajectory, and most economists are projecting that it's going to be below 3% on average. Like it'll be 2.8% by 2021, which is fascinating.
it is
That was
fascinating.
that was actually by an economic forecast by Fannie Mae
Hmm.
predicted that.
Gotcha.
So yes, and what can I say one more thing about mortgages, and then we'll talk about something more
We
interesting.
can talk about anything you want to.
Look,
You're in
you're so
charge. This
good
is
to me.
actually your program, so
Yeah, welcome to my kingdom. It is small. It is run online, and I don't understand how it works.
you understand a little bit. You're doing all
um,
right.
okay, so the government has a plan to water down the regulation aimed at combating discrimination in housing, saying it's inappropriate amid the national reckoning on race. But Bank of America and Quicken Loans have come out publicly against the initiative because it would make it harder to pursue housing discrimination cases because it raises the burden of proof needed to bring a claim. So it's actually
That's
counterproductive
interesting.
to the goal. Yeah. So right now there hasn't been a change in regulation. Um, there could be. We'll see.
Interesting. That's an interesting topic that I had not planned to want to talk about, but every
It's a
week I always
dangerous
like to talk about something.
It's a dangerous topic. Would you like to go there?
Especially as
Here's some fire. Would you like to play with it?
it's tough. Not long ago I was in my car. I think I might have mentioned this on one of our shows before. And I got out of the car to go to a property, and someone walking by looked at me and said, it's not safe for you here, right? And I was doing a showing. And that client, I think, was a little unnerved. What
Because
do
you
you
were
do?
with a client, you got out, somebody walking by said, it's not safe for you here, right?
Right.
Because you're a villain by nature of being a middle-aged white man.
Right.
Just
Driving a Mini
looking.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and I think the comment was meant to be supportive, but I don't know. It's a tough thing. I was reading another article on steering. The National Association of Realtors had a thing
Yeah.
on steering, and when your client says, "I'd like to have something nice. I'd like to have something safe," you have to be careful not share properties with them. But if they don't, and in that case, that's exactly what I did. Here's your criteria. Guess what? The best looking criteria for what you want is right in a place where
The crime rates are
this
high.
guy says you might not be safe, not me.
Yeah.
So you show it, and then your client's like, "What are you
Why would
doing
you
to
show
me?
this to me?
Why? Yeah, why? I don't know." And it's like, you really can't. I can't do that. I just have to show you.
Well, yes.
I have to share with you the properties
I
that
think
meet
you
your
can.
criteria.
Yeah.
I don't know
It's
what I can do. I'm just saying that's a concern, and it's tough to know how to handle that.
Yeah. But it's not usually an aversion or in my experience, it's never been an aversion to a race or a population. It's an aversion to crime rates.
Exactly.
And the way our society was built, especially after the Civil War and um, emancipation, and all that, uh, we deliberately, as a country, segregated our population. So I don't think I think it's so much about poverty.
It is.
Put
Well,
people in
and
desperate situations, they're going to act desperate.
we had that shooting in Jersey City,
Yeah.
sometime, and I had a showing in that neighborhood, like 2 blocks from there, and went there, and the buyer had done some research, and they basically called me and said, "Hey, isn't this like right here?" Yeah. Well, I don't want to buy anything there. I said, well, it's not like it's a common happening there, but I would definitely do some online research and see what you think about the area in general before you made a decision. But still, it's tough. I guess that's all I want to say. I wish everybody could be a little more patient and maybe look at things. It's tough when they do regulation, because when they do, they tend to want to draw pretty clear lines, but those pretty clear lines have some gray stuff around them. And you can have some really good-hearted people that get hurt because on both sides, whether it's clients or realtors, real estate agents, brokers, we keep trying. I just wish I wish that love we keep talking about was all over the place so we could all get along. But, and I understand there's some people that don't have their hearts in the right place. But if you do have your heart in the right place, it'd be nice if there was some way you could.
I know. It's so funny because love is described as a warm and fuzzy feeling, but anger is the warm and fuzzy feeling. Anger and hate, in the moment, you feel so powerful, and it's so easy to choose.
Righteous, aren't you? Righteous anger.
Yes, I do talk about that a lot. I think that all anger feels righteous, because in the moment you feel so entitled to whatever it is that you're angry about.
Yep. A lot of people have burnt at the stake for righteous anger.
Yeah.
Not in recent history, I hope.
Yeah. Okay. So
probably be me tied to the stake, going, okay, this has gone too far. This is not what
I'm sorry. No, thank you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Okay. The only other research I did this week was about corporate debt. I'm just gonna say one fun fact. It's not really fun, but the buildup of corporate debt has been growing for a while. Essentially, it got a lot bigger after 2008. A lot of money.
Well, low interest rates make it. Why wouldn't corporations want to borrow money if they can generate a higher return on their invested dollar? They'll go borrow at a lower rate, reinvest it, and make more money on it. Go ahead.
Exactly.
I'm interrupting.
No, I loved it. That was a beautiful interrupt. Yes, exactly. Right now, it's the highest number we've ever seen. It's $10 trillion, and that's equivalent to 49% of our economic output as a nation. So that's interesting.
I'm not smart enough to understand why that is really interesting, but I get the concept. That sounds like a lot.
It's just basically being in debt, corporations being in debt, worth about half of what we're putting out economically. What does that mean for how much money is? I mean, so much debt is being bought and sold. It's like how much money is really there? If we took away all debt and we just all leveled the playing field, how much money would we actually end up with?
Yeah.
It's an interesting question, but our whole economy is really built on just borrowing money from each other. So
isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
So tell me, changing topics, what's your week been like? Tell me about what it's been like to be a real estate agent this past week.
Ooh, it's been very busy. We've both been very busy. We got a lot going on, man, which is awesome and exciting, but also tiring. We're both really working on, all right, we got to take a little time to breathe between it. So I'm actually going to be posting a video that we did yesterday that was so good, because you have been doing an incredible job of being...
that just sounds like a daughter that's
Nope.
being kind to her dad, right?
How many daughters do that? No, I feel like that's not what
I only have one.
I see you all. That's true. and it's your best one.
That's right.
Also your worst, but we we spend so much time together, and I've witnessed you really just like kick it into gear in the last month on two fronts. On one, work, doing that in a really diligent, simultaneously future and vision focused, as well as taking care of today and today's clients and doing that really well. And on the other front, being a really good human and friend. And yeah, so we did a whole video on that yesterday, but that
I
I'm
want to
going to
be a good human.
uploading soon. I do too.
So about you. So your
Yeah.
week's been really busy.
Mhm.
You know, let's talk about this because
Sure.
first of all, for those of you who watch these videos, they actually show up on a few different platforms. So none of them seem like we get that many views, but when we add them all up, they actually add up to quite a few people, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And those numbers are getting bigger all the time.
Yeah.
I'd love it though if some of you would chime in, or more of you.
Yes.
I guess we do get
Comment,
some chime in.
like, follow.
We'd love to know what
subscribe.
you'd like us to talk about, because we're kind of in everything, and just because we want to talk about it doesn't mean you do. But
Yes.
but more to the point, we have a lot of agents that do watch our videos,
Yes.
and we're buried and we need some help. And if you are a newer agent and you feel like you do a great job, or you want to do a great job, we would love to add a couple people to our team.
That's true. We'd
Both,
need to add a couple people to
you know,
our
we
team.
really needed to add a couple people.
But we really wanted to stay family. We still wanted to feel like a family. So
Right.
we're not adding a lot, and we're going to be pretty specific. But if you're interested,
yeah, if you're interested, you know somebody that wants to. We really do plan to have a pretty tight ecosystem, because we're really customer centric or client centric.
Yeah.
And we want to keep doing a better job all the time and keep playing on each other's strengths.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. So if you know somebody, let us know. So I think I don't have a whole lot to add. It's just been insanely busy. We just had a conversation with a client to do a new listing on the west side at around 42nd Street. We've got another one on 85th Street, another one on 71st Street, another one coming on at in Brooklyn Heights, really close to Matt Damon's place. And what's the guy's name? Kaczynski's, yeah. Right, I think right between the two. Krasinski. Sorry,
John Krasinski and Emily Blunt and their two
I'm gonna get in trouble.
daughters. I think
so. We have a little penthouse unit that's going to be coming online here pretty soon, unless I actually have a neighbor that's after me now that may want to buy that before it makes it to market.
Before it gets off, yeah.
But it's just like happened really fast. And then we have a lot of stuff happening, of course, here in New Jersey, where we spend a majority of our time. We have a new listing coming on at 9 on the Hudson, Patterson Plank Road. It's just a lot of stuff going on.
We're under contract for one that we just put up last week. That was awesome.
That's right. Got that. That's in contract. Close it. There's a lot of. Now I'm starting to go through the list of.
Nobody cares about our list.
They don't care about our list.
We got it going on, and we're excited.
Yeah. The point is, though, is that we're really on a roll, and we've got we're developing some great systems, and would love to have a couple really good agents to join us. We think we have a friend that's going to join us here in New Jersey.
Yes. Kind of.
We may have somebody. Yeah, we're kind of working through that right now, because they're actually fairly substantial in their own right.
Yeah.
But we have some systems and some back stuff.
So we're excited.
We are excited. So, and of course, if you're just out there thinking about selling your home,
reach out to us.
I know somebody. Reach out to us.
We know somebody. And if it's not in this area, even if it's not in this state, we will. We love you too, Sarah. We will hit you up with somebody.
And actually, we loved Element. We were with Element for a long time, and we moved to Compass. I've really been impressed with the Compass. All the agents across the country that we've connected with, they are everywhere.
Yeah, and very easy to connect with.
Very easy to connect with, and we've had a few just reach out to us and say, "Hey, saw that you joined, wanted to talk to you." They just do a good job. So, I mean, they all do a good job. It's just chemistries meet different personalities differently. So, I kind of miss our Element family. There are a lot of great people at Element that I loved, and but in the end, brokers are more. Life is changing now. It's more about teams and team brands and team culture, and brokers are a little bit brokerages are a little bit more about back office support and how they provide support for teams, and the teams, basically handle more of the management. So
Okay.
that's the way it works. Enough about the real estate business.
I feel like no one cares about that.
I feel like nobody cares about so
I
much
know.
of our
Every time we
Friday
get on
name.
here, I'm like, you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it.
Gonna do it anyway.
We're out
So
here trying, you guys.
yeah, so if you will, like us, we'd love to get a comment. So if you happen to be listening to this, if you've got a flippant idea of things you'd like to hear, let us know. Otherwise, we'll
Yeah.
stay the course and
If
keep
you got
working on it.
any questions about real estate, Manhattan, New Jersey, and nationwide, we are big into the research and also
That's
in the
right.
market itself. So hit us up. Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think that's it. So see you later. Shake and bake, baby.
Shake and bake.